Hey, beautiful. So, this week's video, I really want to share with you how you can use your feminine allure to attract men anywhere you are, and how it really doesn't matter where you are if you don't know the steps and how to really apply the steps in the feminine allure process. So, when my clients come to work with me, they often say, well, they don't feel comfortable talking to men. And you can just be out and about doing your errands and you really see an attractive guy. And in that moment, you start to freak out and you don't know what to do, what to say. And it can feel really uncomfortable. And instead of showing up as someone who could potentially be a romantic interest, taking the pressure off and just really being fun and playful without being a man's plaything, what I know to be true is that you start to show up as a woman who's very helpful. And if you continue to show up in that way, what happens is that the man will be in your life because you are helpful, but what you're really doing is preparing him for the next woman. And because you are attracting men who need your help, because you're showing up as helpful versus showing up as someone who wants to be in a relationship or who is capable of being in a relationship or who is confident enough to be in a relationship with a man who's really on your level and really showing up in a way that's really vulnerable, what happens is that you're just getting more of the same. And so you're meeting men, but they're just not the ones that you actually want. They're not the ones that you can really see yourself building a life with and really building a future with. So my quick tip for you this week is that you want to be able to move powerfully. That is really the last step within the feminine allure process. There are two steps that I really want to pull out. Number one is to have fun, right? Release attachment, just have fun in the moment, but also moving powerfully, because when this is done wrong, what happens is that you can emasculate men. Because of your own emotional turmoil, or you show up in a way, you show up as a woman who's guarded and intimidated and intimidating. But when you get this right, though, you can saunter into any room and really light it up. You get to spark interest and really attract really good, just great quality men that you can just enjoy having conversation with, really begin to assess compatibility, because that's what you really want to be doing within this process of dating, especially during this lockdown. That's another video actually, because you don't want to be out. But you really want to take the time to figure out how you can begin to move powerfully. And when I say move powerfully, what I really mean is what happens in that moment. Like, let's say you meet a guy, you see a guy who's really attractive and he comes up to you, and let's say you're sitting at the elevator together. You're sitting at the elevator. He sees you, you notice it's him, and your heart is really starting to palpitate, like it's really moving fast. It's in that moment that there are specific practices that you can do so that you can hold and maintain the potency of your own energy in that moment. Because it's your own energy that gives you that fight or flight, like, oh, okay, it came here, I gotta go, see you later. Or maybe you don't say anything, you just step into the elevator and close the door, and he wants to get in too. So there are specific practices that I teach. Like, this is why I created the feminine allure process, because I have been there myself, right? I felt like I've missed out on opportunities. I felt like I could have done something differently in that moment. And these are the stories that I hear from women who work with me. So when you move powerfully, when you are able to maintain the intensity of the moment, when you're able to maintain the potency of your own energy, what you're able to really do is to receive the attention of men in that moment. It is that specific thing that's going to help you to shift from freaking out to flirting, to being really stable in the moment, to showing up as a woman who's confident, and to really be aware that men are all around you and they're just waiting on you to give them the green light. Okay, so if you are tired of letting your insecurity run the show, if you are tired of hoping and thinking that, if you know that hoping is no longer enough, if you know that this is something that you cannot do by yourself because you've tried it, you've watched all the videos, you've read the books, but it's really not taking root in a way that I know that the feminine allure process can really help you and support you in your journey so that you're showing up as a more confident woman that a man will want to claim. Okay. And don't go saying like, oh, we women should feel whole. We women should. Yes, I totally get that. But there's something when you feel validated. There's a sense of validation that comes from that. Right? From being in a title relationship, from being with someone who totally wants to be with you, who wants to honor you, who wants to make you an honest woman, and that you feel totally qualified to sustain that relationship and to really keep it going. Because there's one thing to attract a man, and there's another thing to actually feel confident in your ability to sustain a healthy relationship. Okay, so If you know that this is something that you can no longer do, there is a framework that is available for you. It is something that I have developed within. It's a process that I've developed, just years of working with women in this capacity. And it's something that I teach within the Feminine Allure Academy. And so I would love to teach it to you. Okay, so the best way that this can happen is to click on the link below. Click on, I have a free masterclass. It's called The 5 Simple Shifts That My Clients Use to Find and Keep Mr. Right. Go ahead and watch that free training, and then you can get your next step there. Okay. My name is Monique Head, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye.